Hi guys. Yesterday you learned about the different cities, major cities in Missouri. Today you listen to a short audio about the Missouri River and the Mississippi River, the two major rivers in Missouri. When you learned about the Missouri River, you learned that we got the name Missouri for the river and the state from the Sioux Indian tribe, giving us their name. Missouri means people of the wooden canoes. Rivers are a very important water source used for boating, fishing, and watering farmland. Before any transportation, the Native Americans used rivers as their highways, so it was an important form of transportation for them. Okay. The Missouri River, I'm going to highlight this, so I want you to pause, and I want you to get either a blue crayon, a blue color pencil, a blue marker, or a blue highlighter. So go ahead and pause. Okay, so let's trace the Missouri River. Okay, the Missouri River starts in another state, way up in the Rocky Mountains. But when it hits Missouri, it comes down along the border. I'm going to kind of go through that course for St. Joseph. Remember, that's the Pony Express. And this river comes all the way around the border till it gets to Kansas City, and then it kind of starts going across the state. If you notice, it comes up high, comes down low. It doesn't run through the city of Lee Summit, okay, but it does pass right through Jefferson City. Make sure you're tracing the river along with me. And it comes all the way across the state of Missouri. And it meets the Mississippi in St. Louis and dumps into the Mississippi River. So after highlighting it, let's label the Missouri River. Remember, we capitalize proper nouns. So I'm just going to label it. And when we label rivers, we just go along the river line, so we don't have to go in a straight line. So I'm going to write M-I-S-S-O-U-R-I-Y. I'm just going to abbreviate river with an R. Go ahead and label that. Pause the video while you label. The next major river in Missouri is the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River we call the Mighty Mississippi. It is the longest river in the United States. It makes up the eastern border of Missouri. The state right next to Missouri, if you remember, our surrounding states is Illinois. So it makes the whole border between Missouri and Illinois. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to trace this whole eastern border. Follow it all the way down, and it continues to go south in the United States all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Okay. The Mississippi River is still one of the busiest rivers in the world. They use barges to ship oil, coal, iron, farming goods, and farming products such as grain and corn, and they ship it down the river. Okay. On this one, I'm going to turn my map sideways, so just like the Missouri River, I could write it along the river. So I'm going to label it. I'm going to turn it this way. Go ahead and turn your paper, and we're going to label it the Mississippi River right here. Okay, and it's a capital M I S S I S S I P P I, then capital R for river. Go ahead and write that in. You can pause the video if you need to. Okay, so today we learned that the Missouri River and the Mississippi River are our two largest rivers in Missouri. We have lots of other small rivers and creeks and lakes too, but these are our two main rivers. The Missouri River starts way up north in the Rocky Mountains, and the Mississippi River starts up north also, but drains all the way into the Gulf of Mexico in the south part of the United States. Make sure that you label and highlight the Missouri River and the Mississippi River. Take a picture of your completed map with the cities and rivers and post it in the discussion of your social studies folder.